Hi everyone, so this video is going to be about paintball or skirmish, depending on what you like to call it, and that's the reason for the mask. Now this is my own mask. This is one that I bought to play in. Sometimes I wear the visor, sometimes I don't. It just clips in across there. If I don't, though, it doesn't cover my entire forehead, so it just adds a little bit more protection and shade as well. So this is my own mask. It's a full face mask. Some of them don't come down as far, others don't have this part. Some of them don't go around as far either, but I like this one because it protects my jaw, my ears, my eyes, and fits securely across my face. So that is my mask. It's quite messy. I probably should give it a bit better clean, but I haven't. So that's my mask, and next I'll show you my paintball gun. So first up I'll show you my gun and explain a little bit more about how it all works, and if you're interested, how you can get into paintball, what you need to consider, and just some general details for you, just because I thought it might be interesting to share with you guys another one of my hobbies, which is pretty far away from the makeup and beauty scene. So this is my gun, and this is an E-Tech, and it's silver and blue. That's what it looks like. As far as guns go, it's sort of a mid-range kind of gun. It's definitely not the best, and it's definitely not the worst gun available. It feels a bit weird now, because normally when you play, well, not normally, you have to, otherwise it won't work, you'll have a tank or a canister of propellant. This particular gun runs off compressed air. Some guns run off CO2. This is where the tank would screw in. So you'll have like a big tank on the back, quite round. I've got a slimline tank, so it can actually fit up next to me when I'm playing. But that's just me. And you'll have a tank cover and things like that. The next part of the gun, which is where you put your paintballs, is this section here. This does come off. It's not part of the gun, it just kind of screws into these little loops here. This is the hopper. So basically you pour your paintballs in here, and when you turn it on, this one's actually, it's got the little motor inside of it there. It will feed the paintballs down into here, which then feeds it down into the gun. So that's how that works in basic terms. Things to keep in mind if you are interested in getting your own gun, at least in Australia anyway, I don't know about anywhere else in the world, you do need a gun license. So please look into that before even considering getting your own paintball gun, because you do need a gun license. You also need to keep in mind that along with owning one of these, you need to store it, and storage is like a weapon, like a real gun. You do need to have a safe or approved storage, which needs to be approved by your local police firearms area or firearms unit. So that is definitely something to keep in mind, because storage itself that is adequate to, you know, hold a paintball gun by law can get quite expensive. So keep that in mind before you get your gun, is make sure you have somewhere to store it, and make sure that it has been approved. Otherwise you can get into a lot of trouble. So yeah, if you're even thinking about it, look into all of that first, and you know, if you've got a paintball field near you, maybe go in and ask them for some tips, ask them for the paperwork, things like that. Most of them will be more than happy to help you guys. So definitely look into it. It shouldn't be a decision that's taken lightly, because it is quite costly. So unless you're going to be playing quite frequently, just rent the gear. That way you don't have to worry about cleaning it, maintaining it, storing it, all of that stuff. It all costs quite a bit. Another thing to consider is that when you're playing, if you're not going to be doing it in a team or professionally or recreationally but not on a regular basis, you can rent gear from them. Sometimes when I play in my own clothes, but it does get very messy, so more recently, if I've just been playing with groups, I just wear their overalls. Normally they'll provide them, and that way they can clean them up. And your clothes underneath, I would recommend that you keep them very lightweight. That way it's easy to move around. I can still crouch down and dive or whatever I need to do quite easily. Wear socks that cover your ankles. Once I was wearing anklet socks and my ankle was exposed and I got shot in the foot on my ankle, and that stung quite a bit. I think that was a little bit painful. It did bruise a bit, not too badly, but I don't bruise very badly. But it does hurt, so wear socks that are a little bit longer, that'll cover your ankles. That's just a tip. Another tip is that if you are playing and they do give you the option of gloves, definitely go for the gloves, because if you get hit in the knuckles or on the hand, that is quite painful. Any area which is quite bony, if that's going to get hit by a paintball, it stings. So I would definitely get a pair of gloves. Sometimes you can buy them for like $5 or $10 and it's definitely well worth it. If they give you the option between fingered gloves and fingerless gloves, I personally prefer full fingered gloves, because it kind of defeats the purpose of having fingerless gloves to me, because you've still got your knuckles exposed and getting hit on the knuckles hurts. Also, keeping in mind when you are playing, always keep your mask on. There are so many people that every game that I go to, people will not think and lift their mask, and that is so dangerous. And in most fields they will kick you off the field and you won't be allowed to play, because it is very irresponsible. Don't do it. If you get hit in the face, you could take out an eyeball, you could go blind, and just don't do it. Jewellery, I would recommend not wearing any jewellery. For the ladies, most fields will give you an option for a chest plate. I myself, I don't really wear a chest plate because it gets in the way when I'm playing. I've been hit in the chest, and see, I have a higher pain threshold. It doesn't really hurt me that badly in comparison, but most of the time it will be covered anyway, because if I'm in cover, under cover, behind cover, on the ground, lying down, my gun will normally cover my chest area anyway. So some fields will require you to wear neck protection, particularly across this area here. Not all the time. Sometimes it does sting quite a bit when you get hit here, so that might be something that you're wanting to consider. I don't play pro. My boyfriend, he used to play in tournaments as well. That's sort of how I got into paintball, after meeting him. I might see if I can find some photos of when I've done paintball games, and I'll put them in towards the end of this video. Actually, I'll put them in here. So those were some photos of us playing paintball. One day I probably will try to see if I can get somebody to take some actual video footage using the camera. that way you guys can actually see it in action, because it is a lot of fun. Questions, I guess, does it hurt? Yes, it does. I'm not going to lie, it hurts. It depends on your pain threshold. Yes, you may bruise. Yes, it hurts. But what I find more painful is the next day or the second day after. There are muscles that hurt that I didn't know existed. So that, to me, is more painful than the actual bruises. I got hit on the collarbone and it bounced up and smacked me in the chin, and paintballs taste disgusting. My first shot was typical. I've got a photo of one where I was hit. That wasn't my first ever shot, but my first ever shot was by a yellow paintball, and I stuck my head up and I got hit right there. So splat, headshot. And most people's first shot will either be a torso or a headshot. So you learn quickly to see and duck and keep your head behind cover. So that's my first shot. That's really it. I mean, if you have any questions at all, or if you're wanting to know more or anything, please feel free to ask me. More than happy to help you guys out. Just let me know and just ask or comment anything below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was really random, there was no real structure to it. It was kind of just rambling on about another hobby of mine. I hope it was interesting. Feel free to ask me any questions at all, and whenever I get a chance to play again, I'll get some video footage or try to get some video footage. I can share it with you guys and show you live action, I guess. I hope you guys are having a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you again really, really soon. Bye!